Every bull rider dreams of sticking it out to the buzzer, but in the world of PBR, some of the most unforgettable moments come from the ones who don't. These are the highest, most dramatic buck-offs ever seen in the professional bull riders arena. Moments that sent riders flying, crowds gasping, and bulls into the history books. It starts the moment the chute gate opens. The bull explodes, the crowd roars, and a man's body becomes the only thing between control and disaster. Some bulls don't just buck, they launch, they throw men like rockets, and in PBR, we've seen it all. Take Asteroid, a bull so powerful, he was described as jumping out of the dirt. In Anaheim, he launched JB Mooney so high it looked like a man being ejected from a cannon. One jump, one twist, and Mooney was airborne. His hat hit the ground before he did. The crowd couldn't even process what they saw before Asteroid spun off like he just flicked away a fly. That ride became a highlight reel moment, a reminder that even the greatest champions get humbled when a bull like Asteroid decides to go nuclear. Then there was Bushwacker, the king of the PBR. His stats read like a nightmare for riders. Over 80 consecutive buck-offs at one point. In 2013, stormy wind gave it a go in Arlington. The gate opened, and Bushwacker did what he did best. Exploded out, rolled his shoulders, and sent wings straight up like he hit a trampoline. His body was completely inverted before gravity took over. The landing was brutal, the air sucked out of the arena, but the crowd still cheered, because that's Bushwacker. He didn't just buck riders off, he made them look like physics experiments. The energy of the arena changes when a bull like that walks in. Everyone knows they're about to see something unpredictable. Like in 2010, when Bones, another powerhouse, faced Valderrama Oliveira. Valderrama was known for his strength and balance, but Bones had other plans. The second the gate cracked, Bones went vertical, front hooves to the sky, then dropped like a sledgehammer, twisting midair. Valderrama's body snapped forward, then sideways, and he was gone before the first full turn. The impact sent dust flying across the arena, and Bones stood tall, head high, like he owned the place. And who could forget Little Yellow Jacket, the three-time world champion bull who defined toughness. In Colorado Springs, he took on Chris Shivers, one of the best to ever pull a rope. For the first time, Shivers held firm, matching the bull move for move. Then Little Yellow Jacket leapt higher, twisted harder, and folded him in half. Shivers was thrown like a ragdoll, landing on his shoulder with a thud that made even the seasoned Cowboys wince. When Shivers stood up, shaking his head and smiling, the crowd erupted. That's bull riding. Pain, pride, and respect all in one breath. Now fast forward to Smooth Operator, a bull that's as deceptive as his name. He smooths for about half a second, then he explodes. At the 2020 World Finals, Jess Lockwood, a two-time world champion, gave it a go. Smooth Operator jumped out clean, then snapped his back end higher than anyone expected. Lockwood was thrown straight up and came down right on the bull's hip. It was a perfect storm. Timing, power, and precision all against the rider. The crowd groaned as Lockwood hit the dirt, but the bull just strutted off like he knew he'd done his job. Then came Whooper, a bull that mixes strength with chaos. Kaike Pacheco, known for his calm and consistency, found out just how unpredictable Whooper could be. The first jump lifted Kaike off the rope. The second twist tore him sideways, and before he knew it, he was airborne, upside down, spinning midair. It wasn't just a buck-off, it was a launch sequence. Whooper hit the dirt first, Kaike second. It was violent, fast, and unforgettable. The replay showed the kind of power no training can prepare you for. Hocus Pocus gave Cooper Davis one of the hardest landings of his career. The bull came out spinning right, dropped his shoulders deep, and Davis had no time to adjust. His feet came over his head, and the next thing you see is a full flip. Davis somersaulting through the air before crashing down on his side. The crowd was silent until he stood up. That's the kind of moment where time stops. Everyone watching, just hoping he's okay. Davis shook it off like a warrior, proving again why he's one of the toughest in the game. Not every dramatic buck-off ends with a clean getaway. In Tulsa, Chase Outlaw drew Warcloud, a bull known for unpredictable turns. The first jump was violent, the second was catastrophic. Outlaw was thrown forward, head first into the bull's horn. The impact shattered bones in his face, 30 fractures, multiple surgeries. Yet months later, he came back. That wreck wasn't just dramatic, it was defining. It showed the heart of a rider who refused to let pain end his story. When Outlaw returned, the crowd gave him a standing ovation before he even nodded for the gate. Another that lives in highlight reels forever, J.B. Mooney versus Pearl Harbor. Two legends facing off in Sioux Falls. The bull exploded out, powerful, athletic, and mean. J.B. matched him for 3 jumps before Pearl Harbor kicked harder than anyone expected. The force launched Mooney backward like a missile, his body arching through the air before slamming into the dirt. It looked like slow motion, but it all happened in under 2 seconds. Pearl Harbor would go on to be named World Champion Bull, and that moment sealed his legacy. And then there's Airtime, a name that says it all. This bull didn't buck, he launched. In 2016, João Ricardo Vieira tried to ride him in Kansas City. The gate opened, and Airtime hit the sky. The jump was so high that Vieira's hands slipped out midair, leaving him suspended for a split second before gravity pulled him back down. He hit the ground hard enough to rattle the boards. Commentators could only laugh in disbelief. You can't ride what you can't stay near. Airtime walked away like he knew he was built different. Sometimes the arena itself amplifies the drama. Picture AT&T Stadium, 40,000 fans, music blasting, lights blazing. The atmosphere is electric when Jose Vidaleme climbs on Chisel. Jose, known for his perfect balance, looks locked in until Chiseled unloads a jump so fierce it sends Jose's feet sky high. He hangs in the air for a moment, twisting sideways, then slams down shoulder first. The whole building gasps. You can feel the air getting sucked out of the place. Even the bullfighters run faster than usual. The buck-off didn't just test Jose, it proved that Chiseled became one of the most feared bulls in the sport. And then came riding solo, the powerhouse bull of the modern era. At the 2022 World Finals, Ezekiel Mitchell faced him in what was expected to be a showstopper. It was, but for the bull. The gate swung open and riding solo did what he does best. Vertical launch, then whip to the right. Mitchell hung on for less than 2 seconds before being flung clean off. His vest hit first, then his helmet. The crowd roared like they just witnessed a knockout. The bull didn't just buck riders, he destroyed scores. Few even made it past 4 seconds on him that season. Whoopa, Moonlight Party, Hard Times, Riding Solo, Chiseled, they all shared the same trait. They don't just throw riders off, they send them flying like stunt doubles. The term high-marked buck-off doesn't come from points for the rider, but for the bull, because these moments earn the highest bull scores you can get. The judges love the power, the intensity, the violence in every move. Sometimes a buck-off isn't a failure. It's art in motion. It's the bull showing complete athletic dominance. One of the most dramatic of all came in 2019, when Dalen Swearingen drew Smooth Rack. The name says it all. The bull came out spinning so hard that Swearingen's upper body snapped forward, then back, like a whip. He stayed on for barely 2 seconds before being launched headfirst into the dirt. The impact was rough, but Dalen bounced up and waved to the crowd as if to say, "You'll see me again." He did. He went on to become world champion. That's what separates the greats. They take the worst buck-offs and come back stronger. The 2000s had their share of airborne chaos too. Brendan Clark, Australia's pride, once faced Spitfire, a bull known for his unpredictable drop. The gate opened, and within a second, Clark was gone. Thrown so high he nearly cleared the bull's back on the way down. The commentators joked it looked like he was skydiving without a parachute. He got up gritting, brushing off the dirt, giving the crowd a wave like it was all part of the plan. That's Cowboys' toughness. Some moments crossed the line from dramatic to downright dangerous. Guilherme Marche, one of the most consistent riders in PBR history, once drew big techs. The bull blew out the gate, stumbled, and then came back with a violent jump that sent Marche spinning backward. His boot caught the rope, leaving him hung up and dragged for several terrifying seconds. The bullfighter sprinted in, cutting the rope free just in time. Marche walked away limping, but alive. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. Sometimes survival itself feels like a win. And you can't talk about dramatic book-offs without mentioning Dylan Page's bulls, especially Bruiser. Even when riders made the whistle, Bruiser made them work for every second. But when he bucked them off, it was always spectacular. His combination of kick, spin, and power made every dismount look like a rodeo explosion. Ryan Dirt Eater found that out firsthand when Bruiser's back end launched him into the lights in Tulsa. He landed flat on his back, got up smiling, and pointed at the bull like, "You got me." The crowd loved it. Each of these moments shares one thing: unpredictability. Bull riding isn't just about balance, it's about survival against the most powerful animals on the planet. Every time the gate opens, anything can happen, and when it does, the world watches in awe. You see, in most sports, failure is quiet. A missed shot, a drop ball, a split-second mistake. But in PBR, failure is loud. It's 1,600 pounds of muscle throwing a man 10 feet into the air. It's dust, impact, adrenaline, and applause all crashing together. That's what makes these buck-offs unforgettable. They remind us how close the line is between control and chaos. From Bushwacker to riding solo, from JB Mooney to Jose Valderrama, every dramatic buck-off tells the same story. It's not about losing, it's about daring to climb on in the first place. Because in the PBR, even when you hit the dirt, you've already done something most people never will. You looked fear in the eye and nodded your head for the gate. And that's why we remember these moments, not because of the fall, but because of the courage it took to face it.